We will be discussing the India-Pakistan skirmish, which has just happened between 7th of May and May 10th, how Pakistan agreed for a ceasefire or called for a ceasefire, it called up the US. We break you down the sequence of events. Now, it is the 10th of May, around 2:30 a.m. in the morning, India struck at multiple air bases in Pakistan. Out of these multiple air bases, 3 air bases were very crucial. The first was Jacobabad in Sindh, the other 2 in the heart of Punjab, Sargodha and Chaklala. Chaklala, for our viewers and readers, is Rawalpindi. Now, these 3 air bases were the most vital for Pakistan. These 3 also held the infrastructure and maintenance facilities for the American-built F-16 fighter jet. You may remember that in the last skirmish between India and Pakistan in February 2019, the F-16 played a major role. This time, the Indian air defense was up, the Indian attack was up at 11 air bases. I'll read out the names which were struck to start off to what had happened. The bases which the IF said it had struck were Sargodha, Jacobabad, Bholari in Sindh, Rafiqi, Murid, Nur Khan, that is Chaklala, Rahim Yar Khan, Sukkur, Chunnia. These were the major places which were struck. Apart from that, Pasroor and also near Gujranwala, there were 2 air defense radars which were hit by the Indian Air Force. Now, coming back to the 10th of May morning, 2:30 a.m., India hits the 3 air bases, Jacobabad, Sargodha and Chaklala. Pakistan Army Chief Asim Munir calls up the US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, tells him that India has struck these 11 bases. Last night, Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif also mentioned this in a statement saying that Pakistan was hit at 2:30 a.m. at Chaklala. Around the same time, Munir told Secretary of State Marco Rubio in the US saying that these 3 bases have been struck. They were important because they held the infrastructure for the F-16, as I told you. Marco Rubio also called back Indian External Affairs Minister Jaishankar, telling him that both sides have to de-escalate. By that time, Munir had told his team that we had to de-escalate. Around 1 p.m. that day, same day, May 10th, the Pakistan DGMO Kasif Abdullah called up his India counterpart, Lieutenant General Rajiv Ghai. General Ghai was in a meeting and he was told by his team that the Pakistan DGMO wants to speak to him. A time was fixed of 3:35 p.m. that day, same day, that the 2 DGMOs will speak. They spoke to each other. The Pakistan DGMO suggested a pause in hostilities. This was important as India had already struck 11 places. Pakistan had not retaliated after those hits. That meant that Pakistan's air defenses were down, shattered, and its ability to hit back had been eroded. Since it was eroded, it also meant that Pakistan could not or was not in a position to strike back. Now coming back to where we were, 3:35 p.m. the 2 DGMOs spoke and agreed for pause in hostilities. In the meantime, Pakistan had also told US what all India had damaged on ground, which included a very important place called Bholari in the Sindh. Bholari is the place where Pakistan keeps its airborne surveillance platforms, the Saab, those are airborne surveillance platforms that it keeps there, that was damaged. Coming back to what happened actually. Now around 5:30 p.m. US President Donald Trump tweeted that a ceasefire between the 2 countries who are nuclear armed is possibly happening. Around 6 p.m. Indian Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri announced that ceasefire. In the defense circles, it is now estimated that Pakistan's ability of not to react, not to act after those 11 hits on the 10th of May actually led to Pakistan seeking a ceasefire at that moment. Now, India also wanted the cessation of hostilities, but America was also playing a role behind the scenes because its own infrastructure for its own F-16 jets, by own I mean the Pakistani F-16 jets, was on the threat of being damaged. In the backdrop, near Sargodha, there is also a place called Kirana Hills. The Kirana Hills hold the command structure for the Pakistan nuclear forces. Now, Pakistan also thought that the next strike could be on its command structure. Mind you, I'm not saying a nuclear strike. I'm not saying that Pakistan's nukes could be destroyed. I'm only saying the command structure which controls the nukes could be the next target. That is what Pakistan believed and conveyed to the US. That is why US President Donald Trump mentioned a few times that he averted a nuclear war. India has categorically denied. The DG Air Operations, Marshal Bharti, was very categorical that they had not hit Kirana and they were not going to hit any nuclear weapon was used. It was very categorical. Still, Pakistan panicked and asked for a ceasefire. These sequence of events also mean that Pakistan's ability to hit back at India would be restricted in the future, also immediate future would be restricted. As we break down these things which have happened in these 4 days from 7th of May to May 10th, we will keep on bringing you updates of this. The story is not ended here. Pakistan may try to do something. India may again retaliate. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh yesterday said Pakistan is on probation. Now, prohibition means that India is still saying that we are keeping you under check. If you do something, do a misadventure, we will strike back. It is now public knowledge. The Tribune first reported in edition dated 10th May that the BrahMos was used as it was fitted on the Sukhoi and launched at these targets. We also know that External Affairs Minister Jai Shankar has also taken up with many countries that what is called the UNSC Sanctions Committee, in which Pakistan's organization called the TRF, the Resistance Force, India is seeking that to be as a terrorist entity. The UNSC Sanctions Committee was given a report last night in New York. That will follow up later. By then, we will keep updating you the story. With me is videographer Mukesh Agarwal. Keep on watching the Tribune Defense Update.